Okay, so Evernote is one of my favorite tools, and I like it because it's been around for a while, and it has an elephant and it's green. So those are all great things for it. I think of it sort of like my second brain, where I use Evernote and Todoist in conjunction a lot. So whereas Todoist is my daily, I'm going to look at this and I got to get these things done, Evernote's where all the support stuff goes. And it's primarily a note-taking application, but there's a whole lot in there that it'll do. It's really powerful, but it can seem kind of scary at first. You end up with like this blank slate of stuff, and you're like, I don't know. But I'll show you some things that you can do to make it easier. So with this one, you have notebooks. So you'll create a notebook, and within it you can add notes, and you can then take the notebooks and put them in stacks if you want to. So it's very much like, if you had like little one subject notebooks, you have, okay, well, this is my notebook for this book, and you write all your stuff in there, and then it's like, oh, well, all these are in this particular series, so we'll sit them all right there and do them that way. But you can add text, images, you can do checklists, you can record, you can add files. Now, remember how I said with Todoist, you had to re-upload the file if you made changes? You can open them up in Evernote and change and save it, and it saves it. Like, it saves your changes in the file that's in there. So if I went in and added like a Word document and opened it up on one computer, worked on it, and then hit save, and when I went back to my other computer and opened it up from Evernote again, it would have my changes saved. And you get a pretty decent amount of space for it. Evernote's on all the platforms, but there is one program called Penultimate that's only on iPad. And it's where you can use like the iPad pencil and write, do handwritten notes. But it has amazing optical character recognition, so you can search your handwritten stuff. So you can type in a search and it'll search all the stuff that if you scanned it in there, like if you took a picture of a whiteboard, you plotted something out on a whiteboard or on a chalkboard and took a picture of it, it would save it and keep it, and you could search that text. And it searches within files too. It does have free premium and business plans as well. I use the premium one. It's the most popular one. The biggest reason that I use that one is because with the free one, you're limited to 2 devices. And I need 4 because I've got my work computer, my home computer, iPad, and iPhone. So I want 4. That's the biggest reason that I pay for the premium one. But it's something I use every day. I use it for every job that I do, so, I can write it off on the taxes. And so really neat. You can take notes, capture stuff, has collaboration, all kinds of neat things. Go away, fella. All right, so like I said, I use this for so many things. One of them is tracking and planning projects. Some of the things that I've written and published, I actually wrote the entire thing in Evernote. It from beginning to the stage where I had to put it in a Word document to send to the publisher. It wrote it in there. And so it's a great project or great program for just about any kind of project. A new feature that they just added in the past 6 months, I guess, is templates. It's always had templates, but you had to like highlight the whole thing and copy and paste it. And now it has a thing where you just click a button and it shows up. It's fantastic. So you can create them and you can upload them and those kinds of things. One of the templates that I use that people ask me for all the time, and I'll be glad to share it with you if you want me to, is my convention tracking template. And so I have a notebook for all the events and a table that I created that has like when the event is, what the dates are, what the status is, did I apply or whatever, links to things like the hotel reservation, stuff like that. And so put all kinds of things in there. And I'll actually just show you around in there a little bit. Okay. So this is basically what it looks like, and I can't really make it any bigger, but I can make the text bigger in just a minute. So you have over here you have shortcuts, and you can put anything in the shortcut. You can put a note, you can put a notebook, you can put a stack. So anything that you want in the shortcuts you can move. For example, if I wanted my events notebook, I just drag it and drop it up there, and it'll be in my shortcuts. And it shows up on your mobile, version 2. And so I do all the schools I teach at, things that I want to look at or read, like articles. You can forward them in there. Events. This is the event table that I was telling you about. Let me just open it up bigger. So it's just a table, and within it, so I put the dates, I put where it was located, what the name was, the name of the place, what day I applied. This is actually a screenshot of where I applied for it, so that I'm like, I have a visual thing that I know I replied, or applied. So all the emails that they sent, things like that. And I do that for every event that I'm going to. Like, here's Contagion. So for all of them. And all of these link to various notes. So, like, here's the email that I got that I forwarded in saying, yes, we want you to come. So I put all of those things, and it just links. They link so nicely to each other. And I can just go back and go back to it. So that's that one. I actually have, if you do a lot of events, I actually have things I can copy and paste about who I am to put in the little fill in the blank things. So like when you start applying to go to events and things like that, you're going to find you're typing the same information over and over again. So I just dropped it in here so that I could, save it. So that's kind of event planning. For series, I created a notebook. I have a dashboard for the actual series, and this is the same one I've showed you on all 3 of them. But kind of just the title, the series that it's in, the premise. I have links to the character sheets for each character, locations. So for example, that'll just take me to that character's profile page. Super easy to put links into. You just right click on it and then copy note link and then paste it. And if you copy the note link, the neat thing that it'll do is it will, let's put it up here. Instead of just being some weird looking link, it'll actually put whatever the title of the note is. So just, Control V for pasting. Let's see. So I have the outlines. I have book 3 outline, but not book 1. Long story. Different outlines for each one, and then I can link it to the actual chapter where I've written it. So you could put that in there, and character sheets. Some of them have more than others. Some of them are main characters. Different locations, like this is the map that you saw in Trello. World building stuff, notes, whatever I want to put in there. One of the nice things about this is that you can, let's see, go to note details, and it'll tell you when it was last synced. Like this is 130, I don't know if you can see that, that's really small, but right here it says like the number of words, so you can keep track of your word count. So what I really like to do is I'll have my phone with me, and I can a lot of times type with my thumbs faster than not. So I'll write in Evernote, and it'll just sync up and put it in there. For example, one of the short stories that I had published, I actually wrote the whole short story in Evernote on my phone in my parents' backyard because I was watching the sleeping infant and they were doing stuff. So I wrote the whole story just, kind of hanging out there, watching this sleeping kid and, sitting outside when it was nice. And it just synced up, and then I could copy and paste it into Word, and it was pretty easy to format from there. Also, in the note details, you can see when it was created, when it was updated. If you have the premium version, you can view the history. So it'll show you the different ones. So if you accidentally delete something, you can go back and see the versions of the note all the way back to the beginning of time, the beginning of the note's time, which is really handy because I wish that I had done it in Evernote, but when I was creating the slideshow for this, did the whole thing. It took like 2 or 3 hours. So I did it, and then I accidentally deleted it. And I had to do it all again the next day. So, I could have saved it, but I didn't. So this couple times a day, usually it'll update, and you can go back and revert to an earlier version if you need to. That is a premium feature, though. Let's see. Another thing you can do. Let's go here. This is one of the tables that I've got saved as a template that I can use, and it's just for plotting. I like using kind of the 3-act structure for a lot of things, especially like novellas, so I can tell like which act it's in, where things need to happen, what the status is, what my goal is, what my actual word count is, and know where I am in a project. And that way, if I have to go away from it for a month, I can go back and say, okay, this is where I was when I had to pick up for it. But I told you there were templates. So this is what it looks like when you just create a new note. Like I said, blank white page. Okay, pretty kind of daunting. But you can choose a template, and they have a built-in template gallery. And so if you are book, no, let's do, creative writing. It's got one. So if you click on creative writing, it already has some built-in templates that you can use. So it has like 3-act plotting structure. This is different than the one I made because I didn't want mine to be so colorful. I wanted it to be plain. And so, it has, make it bigger there, kind of what it is. And all you do is you just click on it, and there it is in my note. So you've already got all this stuff there. So super, super easy. But for their creative writing ones, they have a story dashboard, character profiles, story premise. They always have a whole bunch that come out around NaNoWriMo that they'll do. They have things like personal well-being, like you can reflect, or if you want to lose weight or get hired or make a habit. I love the habit tracker. So with this one, it's like a 30-day challenge, particularly if you wanted to make sure you wrote every day. This one's a great one to use because you can then, click off which days. Are you guys familiar with a concept called Don't Break the Chain? Mm-hmm. Some people know. Basically what it is, it's trying to create a habit. So you get like a calendar with, the squares and stuff, just like a month calendar. And every day you do the thing, you cross it off. And after you go so far, it starts to look like a chain. And you don't want to break the chain. So you don't want to miss a day. So the further and further you get, you're building a chain. So this works in a similar kind of way to it. And then, down here you could put like what your word count was or what you worked on or whatever it is. Just as kind of a way to, see, it even says congratulations. Isn't that great? So it says you don't have to stop, but you can keep going. And then you can put notes and, all that kind of stuff. And these are things that it just has in there. Templates. As you can see, there's like for life, for school, for work, has menus, gift trackers, support network, projects. I use the project template quite a bit, but you can also create your own. So here's templates that I've created that I use. So for example, if I'm, remember earlier I showed you the template and Todoist for the developmental edit, copy edit, proofread, and cover. So I have a similar one in here, and so it just has the status of things. Because I used to do a lot of that in here, but I've moved it over to Todoist lately, just because it sends me better reminders. Let's see. Trying to see. Like here's the novella plot outline thing. Different kinds of stuff. I'm trying to see if there was anything else in there. Okay, the one I want to show you is another writing one. Okay. Is this where the templates live? Nope. Is that where the templates live? Nope. I can't remember where I saved the there they are, templates. So for one of the templates that I created that I really like is the media kit. And this is once you've written your book, you can send this out to people that need the information. So for example, if you're sending it to bloggers or, saying, hey, will you review my book, reviewers, that kind of thing, you can put the information in, attach a press release file. You could, include like your Facebook, social media connections, any of those kinds of things. Tagline, blurb, ISBN, price, all that kind of stuff. And, they'll have it all in one place. And if you share the note, it does a really cool thing. It looks nice. I like how it looks when you go. Even if they don't have Evernote, they can pull this up. So it looks nice when you put it, in there. They can open it up, they can look at it, and find the information that they need. Close. Let's see. Here's one that I created for building a character. So it's a little bit different than the one Evernote has. Here's the convention tracking template. Let me see if I can make that a little bigger. So, just has a pretty banner. I just made that in Photoshop. Not, nothing fancy. But you can drop images in there and then you can resize them. So if you want it really small, it can be there. If you want it really big, it can be there. And it does adapt for mobile. So it'll look, it won't look all wonky on mobile. Okay, so that's kind of what, let's see, there's a dashboard. So here's the dashboard template that I created, story title, series, the one I was showing you earlier, and kind of, what a link to the chapter outline. And again, you could drop like Word files in here if you wanted to. And if you put a Word file in there and you change it, it'll save in there and, keep it. So lots of neat little things. Do y'all have questions about that one? No?
Under the Evernote on the slides, it's got new feature, and it doesn't, it just has new feature on there. What you were talking about.
The templates. Yeah, the templates for it. Because that is a pretty new thing. Used to, what I would have to do is like go to this. If I wanted to use this one again, I'd go to it and you could copy note to or duplicate note. But now you can just push that little template button and it'll pop it in there automatically. All right, so we have a few minutes left. It's like 3 minutes till 2. Do you guys have any questions? I have a few more little tools I'm just going to put up here on the screen to show you that have honorable mention for it. OneNote connects to Microsoft. Bear is a really nice writing app. It is Mac only at the moment, but they're working on a web app. It's brand new. It's like less than 2 years old. Things 3 is another task manager. Notion's really cool. It's about it's notion.so if you go online. But it's a database, basically. You can create wikis and all kinds of super cool stuff. It would probably take me like 3 hours just to show you how it worked. It's a little, I think Evernote's kind of daunting. That one's really daunting, but so powerful. Agenda, Zoho Notes, those are also kind of note-taking things. Asana is like a project management. Pocket, you can just keep stuff. Google Keep, same thing. So all kinds of neat stuff that's out there. But the three that I recommend the most are Todoist and Trello and Evernote.